Hello, y'all. Welcome back to the Ducky channel. My name is Ever, aka Ducky, aka Everduck. Whatever you want to refer to me is great, as long as you have great intentions. That's all that matters. So today we're gonna be looking at what do your closest friends say about you? Oh, spicy! Whoa! So we got pile 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got 5 different piles for you to choose from. So take your time, pause the video if you need to, and really think about your friends and choose a pile. And we'll get started. So let's get started with pile 1. Yeah. All right, pile 1. So if you chose this pile, if you chose this card, this is your reading on what your closest friends think about you. So you got the bear. Use power with wisdom. So I'm getting the sense that your friends think you're very grounded. You're very nurturing. You're very caring. Very much mama bear type of energy. Or if you're a more masculine papa bear type of energy. But either way, just very caring, very grounded. You have core values that you've taken the time to really cultivate and think about, and you think about, or you know what it is that you want to achieve in this life, what it is that you want to experience in this life. You're very grounded. Now, almost to the sense of maybe a little bit stubborn at times, is what I'm seeing. Maybe you're so grounded that sometimes when things are a little bit different than from what you're thinking, you kind of don't really like it. You're not the biggest fan of change, but on the good side, you have great core ideals, um, philosophies, and modes to live by. That's what I'm seeing here. All right, now let's shuffle these little tarot cards and let's see a little bit more about what your friends think of you, pile 1. Also, side note, while I'm shuffling, I hope you're having a great day, afternoon, evening, or good night whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for taking the time to click on this video and listen to what I gotta say and what I see in the cards. So without further ado, let's get ready. Pile 1. So what do pile 1's closest friends think of them? You got the Hanged Man in reverse. Or not in reverse. No, yeah, in reverse. Well, no, we're gonna go with not. We're gonna go with the Hanged Man. Ooh, the Knight of Swords. Yeah, this is making sense. The 7 of Wands in reverse. The 4 of Wands. Yeah, very grounded. Very grounded energy. Very stable. High Priestess. Yes, baby. You know yourself. Your friends know that you know yourself. And the 4 of Swords. And you're very calm. You're very at peace. So, pile 1. With the Hanged Man here and with the Knight of Swords, you are able to let go of things. I'm hearing let bygones be bygones, you know. If you don't get along well with someone, or if someone doesn't have the same types of like values or things you cherish in life, you are very good to just let that go and move on. Whether in the sense of like if the two of you aren't willing to agree to disagree, you are very good to just move on and not talk to that person again. Or also on the flip side, if the two of you are willing to, you know, let go of things, you're able to just move on with conversations and move on with life with your friends. If your friends are not willing to see the same mindset or see things the same way as you are, but they respect you, you are willing to just move on with the topic, not get agitated. You just let go and you go with the flow. On the other hand, if someone is like, no, you're wrong, pile one, or like, I don't agree with that, and they're not willing to respect you, you're also very good to cut them out of your life. And you're like, all right, well, then I'll go this way. See ya. Bye. So that's what I'm seeing, pile one. Your friends know that you are solid and grounded in who you are. And this is reiterated by the Four of Wands, which represents stability. You are very stable. Even while like things are like the water starts moving around and causing waves, you are able to just stay grounded on the boat. Even though people try to rock your boat, you're very solid, you're very grounded because you know yourself very well. You've taken the time to nurture yourself, you've taken the time to care for yourself, and you don't let anyone rock your boat easily. And if they want to rock your boat, they want to like mess with you and try and get a reaction out of you, you're able to really quickly cut them out, or you're able to just cut that BS out really quickly. I like your energy, pile one. You're very strong in who you are and your modes and ideals, and I love that. I wish I had more friends like that. I have a few, and they're super cool. Because yes, they can be a little intense at times. You can be a little bit intense with how like grounded and stern you can be, but it's a very refreshing type of intensity and nurture that you have. You don't really let anyone bother you too much. And if they do bother you a lot, you're able to really quickly just let go, move on. You're able to quickly cut out toxicity from your life, pile one, which is beautiful. And your friends know this. So what else do your friends think? Your friends also think that you're very peaceful. You're very tranquil. You got the Four of Swords here, pile one. So Four of Swords is all about relaxation, resting. I wanted to say relaxing and relaxation at the same time. So I hesitated a little bit. Words are hard, y'all. But you're very nurturing, not only with others, but with yourself is what I'm seeing. And your friends know this about you, pile one. They know you are just as caring with yourself as you are caring and nurturing of others. The only thing that I am seeing like that could be like a quote unquote like negative thing that your friends are saying, pile one, is that maybe you're so quick to cut people off and cut people out of your life that it can be a little bit scary at times whenever whenever they witness that someone's like trying to like stir up waves or stir up like a little bit of controversy, and you're very stern and you like stand your ground. It can be a little bit scary how like fast you're able to just like cut them out and move on with your life and still be, on your boat, nice and steady, relaxing, even though people try to like flip things on you or like cause a reaction out of you. And when they do get a reaction out of you, it's one that they're not ready for, because you're just like, all right, well, like if your intentions are like that, I'm gonna just cut you out of my life. So that's the only thing that your friends can see. Like it is a little bit scary to witness that, but I don't get the sense that like your closest friends are scared of you cutting them out. It's just whenever they witness it, because you are so nurturing and caring, whenever they notice that side of you, they're like, oh yeah. I forgot that pile one can easily, just like a bear can easily just look very cute and cuddly and nurturing. In the wild, they can also, just stand on their hind legs, and you forget how like tall they are when they can just stand, and like how scary bears can be because they're so nurturing and cuddly. And this is you. You're very nurturing and cuddly, but then if you need to be, you stand on your hind legs, you show everyone like that you not to mess with you because you know who you are. So that's all I'm really seeing, pile one. That's beautiful. You've done the work, and your friends acknowledge this. Your friends can see that you are very sure in who you are. Even if, it could be a little bit different, or maybe it's not different, but you're very stable. Regardless if it's a stability in like chaotic energy or in like structured energy, you're still very structured. You're very stable in what it is that you think and what you're looking for in this life, what you're hoping to achieve, and your aspirations. So that is beautiful. So that is it for you, Pile One. Let me know if this resonated with you. Give me a thumbs up, drop a comment. Say hello, Ducky, if you just vibe in here. Thanks so much for letting me read your cards. And let's go on with pile number 2. All right. Okay, pile number 2. If you chose this card, this reading's for you. Whoa! While I was shuffling these cards, I was like, I wonder if this ladybug, I call it ladybug, but here it says ladybird. I was like, I wonder if ladybird is gonna show up in one of these readings, and it showed up for you, pile 2. So what your friends think of you is like you are just very naturally lucky, like right place at the right time. You're very joyful to be around. You're like a breath of fresh air in the sense that you're just so happy. Your perspective on life is so beautiful. Ooh, you're making me get emotional, pile 2. um, I'm going through a hard time in life, so it's just beautiful thinking of like people out there in this world who are very optimistic and joyful and lucky, right place, right time. So look at you, pile 2. You're making me cry over here. I'm holding back the tears. I'm holding them back. But if you want to know what's going on in my life, drop by in my Twitch, shameless plug. But back to you, pile 2. You have a beautiful light to you. Ooh, I can't stop crying. Your energy is so beautiful. It's so wholesome. Oof. All right, pile 2. Let's read your tarot cards. I'm so sorry. I wasn't expecting to be crying. But I guess I needed this, and you are like this with your friends, pile 2. You have such a beautiful perspective on life, and you remind people that there is still joy. Ooh, I can barely speak. There's still joy. There's still things to be joyous about. There's always things to be happy about in this life. And you remind people when people are afraid to do something, you give them courage, you give them optimism for them to be able to fly, for them to be able to take risks or feel free again, and not to be scared of lifting off or taking risks, going for your hopes, your goals, your ideals. So this is what your friends think of you, pile 2. Very beautiful energy. Woo. All right, let me gather my thoughts, my feelings again. I was not expecting that, pile 2. Thank you for that. So let's see, what else do your friends think of you, pile 2? You got the Empress here, just like pile 1. So you are very sure of yourself. You're very confident in who you are. And you're very optimistic. You're confident that the world is beautiful. You are sure that there's still so much joy in this world, so many good things to be optimistic and happy about. And naturally, that also just brings in a lot of good fortune for you. it says accept happiness and good fortune. So you are always so appreciative of everything that life has to offer, and you are confident that there's more good in this world than there is negativity. So that is beautiful, pile two. This is what your friends think of you whenever they say about you, or whenever they're talking about you. They're just like, pile two is just the way that they just are always so grateful. Even like just the smallest thing of like hugging someone. It's beautiful. You got the Three of Wands. You notice that there's so many opportunities in life to be grateful for. The Hermit, you're very knowledgeable. I wouldn't be surprised if you're also you also practice esoteric stuff. Um Maybe you practice yoga, you practice reading tarot cards and oracle cards also. Um you're into astrology, but you are very much in tune to your spiritual side is what I'm seeing, and your friends know this about you, and they mention this whenever someone asks about you to them. You're just a very bright light is what I'm seeing. Very refreshing bright light. You got the Emperor also. So you're very sure in who you are, but you're also very you're you're sure of it in a very stable way that you don't let anyone kind of have you let go of this grip that you have on how it is that you view life and the beauty that this offer or this world has to offer. You don't let anyone try and sway your mindset. This is what I'm seeing. Pile two. What else do your friends say or think about you, pile two? You got the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords in reverse talks about the main word that I hear with this card is defeated, but in reverse, you don't really let yourself get too bogged down. When things don't go your way, rather than feeling defeated, you always know that at least you took a risk, or at least you did something that, and you always find a way to spin even negative news in a positive light, or view it from a different perspective where there's still something beautiful and positive and optimistic that you can gain from, which is beautiful. And you also got the Page of Swords in reverse. I'm getting the sense maybe you're a little chatty. Um, you do like to talk, you do like to chat, and sometimes maybe with the Page of Swords here, the Page of Swords is a great communicator, excellent bringer of news. So you can be a little bit chatty sometimes. Like you can be a little chatty Cathy pile too, which is okay. But I think it's because you just get so overjoyed and excited with good news that happens for you, or even with friends, you know, whenever they get good news. Um, you just want to talk about it with them, or you just love to talk, you just love life, and this is what your friends see of you, pile two. You are a shining light, and even in the darkest of times, the darkest of moments, you're able to still see a positive spin on even negative situations, which is very beautiful. You're always able to see great opportunities with the Three of Wands here. You always find a way to spin something in a manner that um, brings in positive opportunities. You don't let yourself feel too defeated, or you don't let others feel too defeated about life for too long. The only thing also, because I like to be honest when giving readings. The only thing I am seeing here is that you are very optimistic, and the way that you talk about optimism a little bit is like what some people would consider like toxic positivity, quote unquote toxic positivity. Because I think you are realistic, and like in seeing that not everything can always be optimistic, not everything can always be light, but sometimes people don't really recognize this, and they think that you're just like toxic, or you have that toxic positivity. And I'm doing the quotes because you know yourself well, and you are realistic. You know that, like, yeah, not everything can be great, but at least like you're able to at least pull great things from not so great things. And sometimes other people might view it as, oh, like this person's just oblivious, or just so positive that they're not realistic, but you are. And I don't think that your friends really see this. But whenever they do talk about you, maybe like other people who are not as close to you, and they're like gossiping or talking about you to your close friends, then your close friends will be like, no, pile two is not that way. Like, yes, they do seem very joyous, very happy and positive about life, but they also notice like, yeah, that, yeah, of course life can get dark, but they just try and focus on the positives. What little bit is it, pile two, that you can focus on from the negative situations that you can hold on to. So that's all I'm really seeing. Sometimes people that don't know you well think like you have that toxic positivity, but your closest friends come in and kind of like back you up. But you have beautiful energy. Like I'm still in shock that like I cried just from viewing this card. Beautiful energy. I needed that cry, cuz I'm going through a negative situation right now, but like you helped me hold on to or see that there's positivity, that there's still beauty in the world, and that's what you do for other people, and because you firmly believe in this. You have this Emperor card. Emperor is a hard word for me to say, but that's what I'm seeing. That's in the cards. Pile two. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading. Feel free to drop a comment. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for also giving me a good cry. I appreciate that also. And let's get ready to go with pile three. All right, pile three. So, if you chose this card, this reading's for you. Excuse me, I'm taking a sip of water. Pile two's reading was very beautiful and unexpected for me, in a way that it made me cry. So, if my voice is still a little bit like, if I sound a little bit stuffy and whatnot, it's because I just finished crying, y'all, but it was beautiful. So, all right, pile three. So, you got the horse. Care for others and let them be free. I'm getting the sense that you just are very accepting. Your friends notice this about you, that you are very welcoming towards anyone. You're accepting of everyone. You accept people's differences. You're able to just kind of run free, go with the flow with people. You just kind of, whatever it is that the your friends are doing, that's what you're going to be doing, regardless if it's like your favorite thing or not your favorite thing to do. Whatever they're doing, you accept. You're like, all right, yeah, I'm down. You're accepting of others. You're very inclusive, is the word that I'm hearing. So pile three, your friends, your closest friends, think you're very accepting and very inclusive of others. You want everyone to feel accepted, which is beautiful. All right, so let's go on with your tarot cards, pile three. Ooh, man, pile two's reading. That was crazy. I was not expecting that. Oh my goodness. All right. So, pile three, what do your closest friends think about you? You got the Two of Swords. Yeah, the Two of Swords can represent, allies, being friendly. You are friendly, you are an ally towards anyone, you want to be a friend towards anyone. Anyone that wants to be your friend, you are willing to also be their friend. You are very inclusive. Let's keep going. What do pile two's friends think of them? Yeah. Wow. You got the chariot. Look at that. You got not only the horse oracle card, but the chariot. Like you are, whatever it is that you're doing, if someone wants to tag along with you, or if you want to tag along with what someone else is doing, you're willing to go along for the ride. You are accepting of whatever it is other people are up to, and other people's hobbies and interests and differences. And if you want to spend time with someone, or they want to spend time with you, you are accepting, you are inclusive, and you are willing to give anyone your time and spend time with anyone and just help anyone feel good and accepted. All right, what do pile three's friends think of them? You got the Nine of Cups. Yeah, you're very pleasing to be around because you go along with the flow. You go with the flow. You accept what other people are doing. If they got different interests than you are able to accept them, and you show interest in anyone. Even if it's something you don't really know, you show interest in like wanting to know a little bit more about what the other person does. And this is what your friends love about you, pile three. All right. What else do pile three's friends think of them? Wow. You got the High Priestess, just like pile two and pile one. Yo, High Priestess is showing up a lot today, okay? Shoot. So you very much know yourself and you have a lot of knowledge. And I'm getting the sense that it's like, the High Priestess is all about like spiritual knowledge, intuition, um, celestial knowledge. You're very free spirited and you know a lot of things about esoteric stuff, metaphysical type of stuff. You got the Hierophant. Yeah, again, with like beliefs. You are, you know, a lot of, you have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of ground beliefs or set beliefs that you hold on to, whether they could be spiritual beliefs, religious beliefs. You hold on to your set of ideals and beliefs strongly, and you trust yourself in knowing that this is what keeps you, gives you comfort. This is what brings you joy, brings you peace and happiness. And this is what your friends think about you, pile three. So, last card, what do pile three's friends think of them? You got the Knight of Cups in reverse. So, the Knight of Cups in reverse is telling me what your friends do think, though, is like sometimes you do let your emotions get the better of you. And again, like, look at this. You got another horse here. So, like how horses can be very grounded, very peaceful, very relaxed, and they just kind of run free with the wind. Um, but sometimes whenever like someone's on them, they can and they don't like them, or like something happens, like they let their emotions get the better of them, and then they just start flailing around. So I'm seeing like most of the time, pile three, your friends love that you're very accepting, you're very inclusive. But every once in a while, There might be someone who really riles you up, and then you kind of let your emotions get the better of you, and you kind of go a little bit berserk. You go a little bit. I'm getting the sense. I'm hearing the word crazy. I'm hearing the word crazy. You get a little bit crazy. You let someone else get the better of you and your emotions just kind of go a little bit crazy for a little bit. But then you reel it back in, you know. Um, but overall, pile three, your friends love like how pleasing and joyful you are to be around people and to make everyone feel included and accepted. And I think it's whenever someone doesn't accept you or includes you in something, maybe that's whenever you get in your feels because you are so inclusive. Pile three. And this is probably a thing of like you're so inclusive with others because maybe growing up you weren't included in a lot of things. So now that you're like growing up or you're older, you want other people to be included because you don't want others to feel isolated and excluded, kind of like how maybe you have felt in the past. Um, so sometimes that's kind of like a trigger. Sometimes when if someone doesn't include you in something, if they don't offer you something to you that like maybe you know that they've offered to other people that you have some like mutual friends with or something, you kind of get in your feels and it throws you off kilter a little bit. But other than that, pile three, your friends think you are very inclusive. You're a good ally, a good friend. You are strong in your beliefs, your spiritual beliefs, your religious beliefs, your beliefs in like what success means to you, things like that. You're just very grounded in that, and you have knowledge on what works for you, what you like, and you want everyone else to feel good. You want everyone else to feel included and accepted. So that's what I'm seeing for you, pile three. So give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading. If it resonated with you, feel free to drop a comment. And let's get ready for pile number four. All right, pile number four. If you chose this card, this reading's for you. I'm going to take a sip of water and we're going to get ready. All right, pile four. You got the wolf. Ooh. You are very independent. Like, I'm getting the sense, pile four, your friends know that you love your independence as much as you enjoy working with people. So sometimes it can kind of come across as a shocker that sometimes you don't want to be around people or like you don't want to go to a party and you just want to do your own thing. Like it comes across as a shocker sometimes to people who are barely getting to know you that like yeah, you love working with others, you love being with others and connecting with others, but you also love your alone time as well. You love your me time, you love your space, you like to do your own thing, you're very independent. And sometimes it can be a little bit shocking to new people, but your closest friends, Pile 4, know this about you. They know you are a great friend and you love and you work well with others. But at the same time, you don't always want to be with other people and you don't always want to work with other people or like do something with people. Sometimes you want to do things by yourself and they get that about you. They know that about you, which is really cool. You know, that's really cool because there are some people that I know in my life that like always need someone to like be around with them, even if it's like to go to the grocery store or go to the bank or do something. And you're like, not me. I want to go watch a movie by myself. And sometimes people are like, what? And you're like, yeah, I want to go take myself out on a date. I want to go do something, or I just want to chill in my home, doing my own thing, you know? And they're like, well, but there's a party. And you're like, yeah. And I love everyone there, but, you know, I want to do my own thing today. So, you know, stuff like that. Pile four, which is really cool. people love you and you love being around your friends, but you also love your space. You love your me time. So let's read your tarot cards now, pile four. What do pile four's closest friends think about them? You got the 10 of Cups. I think sometimes, going back to this, like the lone wolf type of thing, sometimes your closest friends do get hurt a little bit whenever you do decide to kind of do your own thing instead of meeting with people or meeting with them or doing something with them. Um, Sometimes your friends can get a little bit hurt by it. But again, they do understand pile four. They do respect it and they understand. But it does sometimes, like I with this card coming out, like there are some moments when people like would really love for you to go out and do things more with them. Like whenever they invite you, um, they would enjoy that more. Like I don't get the sense that they get like hurt like too badly, but it is like kind of like a let down, but not in the sense that like it ruins their night, but they just like they're like, oh man, like dang, like tonight would have been even so much more fun with pile four around. But you know, they understand. They understand that you also love your space and your alone time. But that is something if you do want to work on with your friends, pile four is like if people invite you to something, um, definitely try to make it a point to maybe show up a little bit more to social events. I think it would really mean a lot to them. But that's also only, you know, if you want to be around people. But they understand this from you that you like to be a lone wolf. So no worries about that. Yeah, you got the Hierophant. So you just you know when, you know when it's a good time for you to hang out with people, and maybe when you're not in the best of moods to be hanging out with people, or like not even just the best of moods, but like maybe you're in another mood where you just kind of want to be alone studying or doing something alone. So your friends know this about you, pile four, and they're okay with it. All right. Yeah, you got the King of Swords. You're very intelligent, you're very much an intellectual, and sometimes like, you know, your friends know pile 4 that sometimes all you want to do is kind of just be alone, studying, learning something, doing your own thing, kind of like stimulating your brain, um and not having any distractions or not being around uh a lot of noise or a lot of people. And they're okay with that, pile 4. So let's keep going. What else do pile four's friends think of them? Four of Wands. Yeah, this card came up, I think, in pile one as well. But you're just very grounded. You're very stable in knowing yourself, knowing what works for you. And you know that you enjoy your alone time just as much as you enjoy being with others. And your friends know this about you. And it just I keep looking at this 10 of cups here. It just kind of stinks for them that like sometimes they get so excited that like uh, they invite you to something, and at the time maybe you're like, yeah, you know, I think I'd definitely go, and then you know when the day comes, sometimes you'll like message them and you're like, hey, like actually like I'm actually in more of a mood today to like just do my own thing. And people are like, oh, shucks, you know? But they understand. Again, like I keep wanting to reiterate that they do understand. You got the 8 of Pentacles. Maybe you are hardworking, is what I'm seeing with the 8 of Pentacles here. See here how like they're working on like ironing, it seems here. Your friends do think that sometimes you are very hardworking, or maybe you love your alone time as well, like because that's your time to study, that's your time to work, and sometimes they're like, man, like I wish like pile 4 actually like came to the Christmas dinner tonight. Like, but I know they're working, and that's okay. Or I know they're just like they want to be left alone. Um, so that's kind of what I'm seeing with that card. Is that like sometimes you do, your friends do think that you do overwork yourself a little bit, but you got the Emperor here. So like the Emperor is all about, being grounded in his or her their ideals, their goals, what it is that they want to accomplish. And sometimes you know that like you're going to have to put in a lot of effort to really succeed in what it is that you want to accomplish. And your friends know this. So that is why they respect that you go out, whenever you want to go out, and whenever you don't feel like it, you don't, and no one can sway that. No one's going to be able to really change that because you're like, no, I already am feeling in like a certain mood, or I already put myself in a mood or in a mindset where I'm going to just do my own thing tonight, or I'm going to do my own thing this weekend. And you do apologize. You're like, sorry, like I know uh I said I was going to be there, but the time came and now I'm just not feeling it. I'm feeling like doing this. And you're still very cordial, and you're very respectful, and you're still a very good friend, and your friends admire this of you because you are a very good friend with the wolf here. Like, you are independent, but you are also a very good person to be around. And I think your friends would just want you to be around a little bit more, like maybe to make a little bit more effort to really be like, you know what, like, yeah, I'll go to that dinner, or yeah, I'll go to that party, even just for a little bit. So that's what I'm seeing. But like your friends, they know like how smart you are, like how much you love learning, and you got a lot of things that you're working towards. You're very grounded, and you're a very good friend. So don't worry. Like, if you feel like you don't need to change anything, don't. If you feel like, yeah, maybe, I could go and show up a little bit more for my friends, especially right now, then definitely do that. But that's like what I'm seeing for you, pile 4. You're very independent. You're also very much a good cooperative person. Very, very like 50-50. You got a good balance here. So that's what I'm seeing. Give me a thumbs up if this resonated for you, pile 4. Feel free to drop a comment. And thank you so much for letting me read your cards. So let's get ready for pile 5. All right, pile 5. If you chose this card, this reading's for you. All right, let me get some water, drink a little bit of water, and we'll get ready. All right, pile 5. What do your friends think of you? You got the snake. Live according to your divine essence. You go through many changes, is what your friends say. You are, and not in like a bad sense, like that you go through many changes. I get the sense that you're just you kind of like shapeshift, or you're able to just re- renew yourself and rebrand yourself, is what I'm hearing or what I'm seeing in my mind. You rebrand yourself. Sometimes you're doing one thing, and then like within a few months your friends see you doing another thing, and they're like, wow, like you totally just like shed your skin, and now you're like doing something else, and they're like, that's really cool of you. Like, so you are very changing, you're very adaptable. um so you enjoy change. This is what your friends see of you, pile 5. You love change. Um, Very seductive also is what I'm seeing. Because, the way snakes move, the way they move is just very seductive. So I'm getting the sense, pile 5, that your friends know how much of a free spirit you are and how much like you love change. But there's also this like seductive nature to you. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised, pile 5, if some of your friends have had crushes on you at one point in y'all's friendship, Or if maybe some of them still kind of do. Like, and sometimes like they do, sometimes like we'll make a little comments or little hints, and you're like, yeah, we've been through this though. So no. All right. So let me shuffle your cards, pile 5. And then we'll get ready to see what else your friends gotta say about you, pile 5. We're already off to a steamy start with the seductiveness, but also change. You love to change. So let's get ready. So what do pile 5's closest friends think of them? Yeah. You got the Hanged Man in reverse. You don't like to stay still for too long. You don't like to do too much of the same thing for long. Or you're not very much known for that. Maybe it's not that you don't like to do that. Maybe it's like you have one project, you complete it, and then you go on to do another project. And it's like completely different from like the previous project. And so your friends know this about you. They're like, "Oh yeah, pile 5." They're like, "Who knows what they're up to right now?" Like, I'm sure it's like amazing, but like, who knows? Like, I haven't heard from them. Um, I'm like, from my personal experience, maybe they could be like, "I haven't seen them play this game in a while. They're probably playing another game, or they're probably doing something else." Um, you don't stay doing the same thing for too long, is what I'm seeing. All right. What do Pile 5's friends think of them? Ace of Pentacles. But you are very grounded in the sense like you have a great foundation that you know when it's time to change. You know that you love change. You know that change is for you. Like you don't like to do too much of the same thing for long. And you know when it's time to change. You know when it's time. Like you are very grounded in the sense that like you're not going to do you're not gonna like let go of one project and start doing another one until like you know that it's like time to change it. Maybe like once you know that like, okay, I've been here for like too long, or I've been doing this for too long, now it's time. Like you're very grounded in that sense. Like you're very grounded and you know when it's time to make a change. You know when it's time to do something different. It's not like you mindlessly make changes without really thinking about them. You're very grounded. You always have like a plan, is what I'm seeing. A very responsible nomad, a very responsible person when it comes to change. This is what your friends are seeing and think about you. So let's go on pile 5. What else do pile 5's closest friends think of them? You got the 2 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles normally talks about juggling, um, having a lot of things going on at once. Um, I do get the sense that maybe sometimes you do try and do a little bit too much. You try and do some a little bit here, a little bit there. Um, so what your friends do think is like sometimes like you are grounded when you know like you need to make a change, but sometimes they feel like maybe like pull back a little bit. Like maybe try and not go above and beyond by like having too many things on your plate. Reel it in a little bit. And and you know, that's just their perspective is what I'm seeing with the cards. You know, always don't let like whatever I'm seeing here or like saying in my readings like deter you from what you feel in your life is best for you. Like these are I'm just reading kind of like the cards and interpreting them um based off of my own experience and what I've learned. So, recap a little bit. You know when it's time like you know when you've done something for too long, you're very grounded in the sense like you know that when you've done something for too long and it's time to make a change, you do it, but you always have a plan. Um And even when you always have a plan, though, sometimes your friends can think that, like, maybe you're just trying to do a little bit too much. They know that you have a plan. They know this about you. They just feel like maybe you overexert yourself sometimes. You wear yourself out is kind of what I'm seeing. So just be careful of that, of wearing yourself out by trying to accomplish too much. Pile 5. What else do your friends think of you? You got the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Now the 6 of Pentacles in reverse here. I'm getting the sense your friends love that you are generous and you are very giving. But maybe you're a little bit too giving. And I'm getting the sense with the snake here and with the like sexual alluring sensuality is that like maybe you're a little bit too giving of your sexual energy with others. And I don't know about you, Pile 5, but like if that's resonating, but I chose this pile for myself also, and that kind of resonates. I've had, as my cousin and I like to say, we've had our promiscuous days in the past, and so maybe your friends, pile 5, think that sometimes like you are just very giving of your sexual energy, your creative energy. Also, the sexual energy can be used for creation, creating things. So maybe reel it in a little bit rather than like juggling is what I'm seeing. Like rather than having a lot of like multiple like people to have fun with because you do like change, reel it in a little bit and use the same sexual, sensual magic and energy that you have in a sense, in a way of like boosting your creativity. And this is resonating a lot with me. Because I could definitely channel, because I am also a very sexual or sensual person. Not to say I sleep around a lot anymore, but I did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was very promiscuous back in the day, but now, I can definitely, sexual energy is very powerful and you can use it to create and to, for creative efforts and whatnot. So definitely try channeling more of your sexual sensuality into other attributes like dancing, just being creative, um, rather than you using it for just like sexual pleasure. Let me know if that resonated with you, because that resonated with me. This is the pile I chose for myself. So, all right, what do pile 5's friends think of them? You got the Wheel of Fortune. So pile 5, like you're always moving and you're always on the go. And like, it seems like you're always like, you just got a lot of luck on your side is what it feels like to me. Like your friends think that you're just very lucky. Um, you always got something going for you, or they think and feel that you have a lot going for you. Pile 5. So let's get you one last card, pile 5. Ooh, 2 cards apparently. So you got the Judgment card and you got the Page of Wands. Whoa, a little bit feisty. With the Page of Wands here, I can see that like you got this sensual energy, but like just how sensual and a snake looks when they're like moving around or like when they're being charmed, but they can also be venomous, a little bit spicy, a little bit sassy. So your friends can also think, pile 5, that like sometimes the sass is a little bit, maybe that sass can be a little bit toned down sometimes. Sometimes you could be a little bit sassy, a little bit too sassy. Everything is good in moderation, and sometimes maybe you can be a little bit too sassy for people, a little bit too much fire, too much heat. But that's okay. Like that's okay. If someone can't handle the heat, well then they ain't the ones for you, boo boo. But like they know this about you and your closest friends like know that you can be sassy and it's okay. Like I'm getting the sense that they do think it's okay and they know this about you, so they're able to kind of maneuver just like a snake. They're able to maneuver around your sass and eh, and whatnot. So also, what do your friends think of you? You got the judgment card. You are a very good judge of character. With the judgment card here, and this card, live according to your divine essence. You are a very good judge of character, and you know who to trust and who not to trust. You trust yourself in knowing whom you can depend on, who you can confide in. And if someone is not to be trusted, or like they show you that you can't trust them, you easily, shed your skin, and you move on. Like if there's someone that proves to you that you can't trust them, that maybe they're taking advantage of your generosity, you move on. You move on, and you change your circle of friends, or not your circle of friends, but like you'll like maybe remove someone off, as like you considering that they are your close circle of friends, again with the Wheel of Fortune. Like you have a close knit circle of friends. I keep saying the circle of friends. Oh my gosh. You have a close knit group of really close people whom you confide in. And sometimes when you bring someone else new into the circle, and then like you realize, like, or they show you that maybe they're taking advantage of your generosity, you're able to quickly make a good judgment, and maybe you'll still be friends with them, but you're not going to be as close as you once were, and they ain't going to be rolling with you. Okay. So pile 5, you got a lot of, divine sensual energy. So to recap, your friends know this about you. Like you've got a lot of things going for you. You're very alluring, you're very sexy, you're very sensual. You love change, you embrace change. Um Maybe sometimes like you use your sexual energy um in ways that could be a little bit more productive. So really watch out for that. Try using the same sexual sensuality for ways that can really be beneficial in creating new things, or towards what it is you want to create. Um, but like also a very good judge of character. Very good judge of character. A little bit sassy, a little bit spicy, but like you are someone that people can trust, your closest friends can trust, and they also know that they can trust your judgment. They can trust your opinion whenever like you see something and you're like, "Hey, like just letting you know, this is what I'm seeing with this person." They really take your judgment to account, because they know that you've got a lot of divine allure to you. You've got a lot of things going for you. So that's what I'm seeing for you, pile 5. So let me know if this resonated with you. Give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment if you'd like. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards, pile 5. And that is it for today's video. So feel free to let me know if you got any kinds of like video suggestions. I'd love to hear them out. And that is it for me. So thank you so much for letting me read your cards today. And I will see you in the next video. Thank ya. See ya. Bye.